I'll be using a Sharp Crochet Hook today to demonstrate how I will make a little edging around a normal plain and simple washcloth. So this is what you get when you buy the Sharp Crochet Hook set. It's the pattern book and the hook itself, and that's about $10.99. I'm going to start in the corner because I think that's probably the one that most people would want to use. The instructions in the pattern book only goes in rounds, so I've kind of devised a plan for getting around the corners with the Sharp Crochet Hook. I'm using a cotton thread, and I'll start by just putting my working yarn at the back of the corner and then poking a hole right through. If the corner is like this, I'm going to start on that edge, make one in the center, and then another stitch for that side so that I can keep going in the rows. So I put my crochet hook right in the corner and catch the yarn at the back and pull it up, and now I'll just finish my single crochet stitch. Then I'm using the working yarn and putting it, the tail, putting it over the working yarn so I can work over my working yarn, thereby not having to work away this tail end towards the end, and it secures the stitch. If I do 3 chains, that will bring me to the corner, and every time flipping over the tail over the working yarn. So that was 1, 2, put over, and 3. And tail over. Now I just do a normal, it's roughly in the same space that I made when I made my first stitch. I put my hook in again, catch the yarn at the back, and just bring it up in a normal long single crochet, and that will bring it right into the corner. And my working yarn again until it's away. I just keep, the tail, just keep putting the tail over the working yarn for 3 chains. Oh, okay. And now turn and do the same stitch again. Now you can just kind of pull that into the corner, because in your next time you go around, you'll be using a stitch that will secure this corner space into that corner, so you don't need to worry that it moves over for now. And then just keep going with 3 chains between each single crochet that you do just underneath the edging of the washcloth. 1, 2, 3, and just evenly space the stitches. But because you're doing 3 chains in between each, you will get roughly the same distance every time. I'm coming up to the next corner, and I'll just keep on going the same way I did for the first one. I just made my 3 chains. Now just doing my long single crochet stitch again. Remember to keep some slack in the long stitch, otherwise your edging will kind of fold over and not lie flat. So just finish that one off, and if it sort of twists, just pull the one that's on the wrong side back to where it should be. And it's 1, 2, 3, and now I'm back in my corner, so I do my first one in the same way, pull up, three, and just space it roughly opposite the corner. This one will be quite long, so give it some slack. Oops. One, 2, 3, and the same space. Just pull that over. I've now come to the end of my border. I'm back to where I started. I'm just going to do a slip stitch into the starting, the very first stitch to end off this row. And that's the last time that I'll be using this sharp crochet hook, or not the last time, but for the purposes of this project. Once you've used the sharp crochet hook to make your starting round of stitches, you can switch to another crochet hook. I'm switching to a 2.25 to continue working with the same yarn, but just not with a sharp crochet hook because it's not needed anymore. The sharp crochet hook basically saves you from having to make holes or doing a blanket stitch with a needle and thread, and in order to do your edging. It's highly recommended.